day, ma'am. Good day, classmates. I am your Envina Shibuya, together with my co-reporter, Ms. Lorimisi Dakal. And today, we're going to report Chapter 6, and our topic is all about the alternative energy resources. I will show you some slides on the screen, and you can use that as your reference. And now, let's start with the introduction of our topic. The Philippines and the other countries of the world relied on the same resources of fuels for the past 100 years. We have been so dependent on coal, oil, and natural resources which up to this date still work good. But at the rate we have been using these fuels, the world may run out of these resources. That is why we need to search for alternative energy resources which are cleaner, more economical, and ecology friendly, which are beneficial to the whole world. Before we continue, let us define first what is energy. And I know that all of us already know what is energy, right? So, energy is the ability to do work. And one of the examples of this is our cell phones or gadgets. It doesn't work without the electric energy. Our mode of transportation, it doesn't operate without the gas energy. Is it right? And now, let's move on. And what is alternative energy? So, alternative energy is the energy source that is alternative to fossil fuels like coal, gasoline, and natural resources. So, these alternatives are intended to address concerns about the fossil fuels, such as its high carbon emission and its importance in the global warming. So, alternative energy is not infinite. Alternative energy, it is also known as the renewable energy. It refers to sources of energy that considered alternatives to traditional fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas. From the word alternative, it is a substitute for our resources that have been gradually disappeared. And here are some of the resources of the alternative energy: the geothermal energy, the wind energy, the tidal energy, the biomass energy, and the natural gas. That we are going to discuss it later on. So next, the renewable energy. So this is the energy comes from the natural resources that won't run out, or it means it is infinite, such as solar, wind, geothermal, waves, tides, waste, biomass, and hydrogen. Okay, next, let's move on to renewable energy. So renewable energy, this is the energy comes from the natural resources that don't run out or continuously replenish. Example for this are the solar, the wind, geothermal, waves, the tides, the waste, biomass, and the hydrogen. So now, we are done discussing the alternative energy and the renewable energy. So what are the differences between these two? So renewable energy sources are not exactly the same as the alternative energy. Although both alternative and renewable energy work together to cut down the carbon emissions, there is still a stark difference between the two. Alternative energy is not infinite in supply, unlike renewable energy, which our name suggests it always available to similar to solar energy. And now, let us discuss the resources of alternative energy. So first, the geothermal power. So the geothermal power is about extracting energy from the ground up. So this is the tapping into Earth's internal heat to produce steam for electricity generation or direct heating. Geothermal energy has various uses, including electricity generation, heating, and water supply. Next is the wind energy. So the wind energy is the process by which the wind is used to generate mechanical power or electricity. So the wind energy is the generating electricity by harnessing the kinetic energy for the wind through wind turbines. Unfortunately, This form of energy generation also presents challenges. Wind turbines restrict views and may be dangerous to some wildlife. So next is the biomass energy. So the biomass energy comes in a number of forms. Burning wood has been used for thousands of years to create heat, but more recent advancements have also seen waste such that in landfills and alcohol products used to similar purpose. So the biomass energy derives from the organic materials such as plants and waste. It can be used for heating, electricity generation, or a biofuels. And also, it utilizes organic materials like woods, crops, or waste for energy through combustion or conversion process. So, here in Zamboanga del Sur, we are already have our own biomass energy or the biomass power plant. And it is located here in our hometown, Aurora. Next is the tidal energy. So the tidal energy uses the power of water to generate energy much like with the hydroelectric methods. Its application actually has more in common with turbines in many cases. So this tidal energy, this is the alternative energy we get from the waves. And next is the hydrogen gas. So a hydrogen gas is a clean alternative to methane and also known as natural gas. So hydrogen gas, it can be used to power vehicles, generate electricity, power industry, and heat at homes and businesses. It could make a huge difference in our carbon emissions and will help be critical to achieve net zero. And for the next reporter, she will be discuss the key differences between alternative energy and the renewable energy, and also some of the sources of alternative energy.
Okay, so I will continue discussing our topic. And my task is all about the key difference between alternative energy and renewable energy. But before we proceed, let's define first what is a renewable energy. Renewable energy comes from a source that is naturally occurring and relinquishes naturally without the interference of human intervention. Are an energy source that cannot be depleted and are able to supply a continuous source of clean energy. And also, renewable energy is often called sustainable energy. A renewable energy source may not be considered green, like for example, some carbon emissions are associated with the process used to generate the energy, such as the building of infrastructure, and there are some examples of renewable energy. First is the biomass resources, second the solar energy, third the wind energy, and the fourth is geothermal resources, and the last one is the hydro resources. So that is a renewable resources. And now let's define what is alternative energy. Alternative energy does not include solar power, but includes sources like natural gas, often obtained from fracking or the injection of pressure in subterranean crevices. Natural gas cogeneration, fuel cells, or any waste energy that does not naturally replenish but emits lower cost emissions. Alternative energy does not come from fossil fuels and thus produces little to greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide. This means that energy produced from alternative sources does not contribution to the greenhouse effect that cause climate change. And there are some examples of this like nuclear, hydroelectronic energy, wave energy, biofuels, natural gas. So that is the alternative energy. And in overall, the difference between alternative energy and renewable energy is the alternative energy refers to energy source other than fossil fuels, These include all renewable sources and nuclear. But nuclear is not classified as a renewable energy source. A renewable energy source is produced from sources that do not deplete or cannot be replenished within a human lifetime. So that was our topic all about, and thank you.